Yeah. I like how they use core fantasy role-playing, which is backward compatible with 5th edition, and can be used in conjunction with any existing 5e material. Packet number 2 will let you go and complete making a character. Probably with this one. Core fantasy are slightly more powerful than characters created using 5th edition, but are close enough to 5e that a core fantasy character can still play together at the same table. That's what I did with Celestia. The systems are similar enough that usually a Celestia class is going to be a lot like a 5e class. But as you just saw, I tend to think they're too conservative, especially at the levels people actually play at, for their own good. Yes, usually they need to combine features a lot more at earlier levels and push down some of these high-tier features. That is a lot of what I did when I started creating the archetypes that go into Celestia. So, talking about the core aspects of core fantasy. Worlds have magic, heroic adventures, unique locations to explore, power structures and systems, conflict. Yes, those are all useful things in a fantasy RPG. I mean, a lot of these are things that every system talks about. Like, what is a role-playing game? What does a GM do? What do players do? The dice. Other tools you need to play. Which is a monster book, the core fantasy role-playing book, and a game master guide, apparently. Alright, so character creation. Choose a class. Talks about levels, hit points, and hit dice. Yep. All things I expect. And if they want to do percentiles, use 2d10s and simply combine the results. I assume one is the tens and one is the single digits. Proficiency bonus, ability scores, whether you're using point buy, standard array. They actually don't include rolling dice, which is still my preferred way. I like the variability. A lot of times my players get some really high results, other times not so much. But if they can't at least match standard array, then they can take standard array instead. Hey, Conver, how you doing? Okay, that is too much like Christmas music. Let me change that. Alright, choose lineage and heritage. Okay, so like ancestry and heritage in Celestia. Welcome back, Sun Eater. we're now looking at the Black Flag playtest from Kobold Press. We're looking at how you make a character. Okay. I just saw, when I was looking down here, your size. And, I think I read some things together, and I'm like, what? Why would you ask that? Until I realized what they actually meant. Yes, you can see where my brain is, okay? But apparently, lineage and heritage, well, lineage, I would think, would determine your size. Class. They should definitely put a class there, so I don't get confused. Your senses, your basement movement speeds. Oh, and they have background. So they do 3 parts too. Heritage for them is probably more culture in Celestia. Because culture and background are closer to each other. Oh, and you get luck points. I haven't seen luck points. Huh. I'll have to see. So, what is a lineage? They define a lineage as certain traits your character has because of their ancestry. Hence why I call it ancestry. The following sections: age, size, speed. Your heritage dictates certain abilities you have because of your connections to a particular group or society. Heritage includes all manner of tangible and intangible cultural elements, such as architecture, works of art, folklore, tradition, language, and native environment. Yes, it is a lot like heritage is in Celestia, but it's more about your family. Your architecture, your works of art, your folklore, your traditions. Some of those will come, in fact, even language, will come as part of a heritage, and some will come as part of your culture. Because there's a blending of things there. So, dwarves. The average dwarf is about 150 pounds. That seems kind of light. Most dwarves I've seen are a bit burly to be 150 pounds. Especially when they can be 5 foot tall. I mean, I know girls who are like 5 foot. And they tend to be kind of petite, but some of them almost come to 150 pounds. Well, it's usually like 120, 125, but they're not dwarves. Dwarves are kind of built beefy. I don't think they thought quite enough about that. Oh, wow. Okay, you are tall. You are taller than I am. And ironically, I weigh more than you do. But then I did used to practice martial arts, so I don't know. Maybe I just think it's not enough. But then, like, a lot of guys I know are like 180-ish pounds, uh, and about like my height. I would expect most dwarves are equal to them, because they should be more burly. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe that's just me. And of course, that's not even accounting for dwarf women, because they don't really include gender here. And women tend to be lighter than guys, even for the same height. So, totally a thing. Heritage traits. Things you would tend to expect from, like, dwarves. Though, a lot of elemental fire things, which probably makes sense for Fireforge. I don't like that they have alignment. I would really like to see alignment just go away. I prefer motivation to alignment. So what motivates your character? That's a lot more helpful than a static alignment for me as a player. So. But then, I am the chaotic good or chaotic neutral type. Or maybe, neutral good? I'm kind of all over the place a little bit. But yeah, things we would expect. Elves. A little bit about elves, night vision. Magic ancestry. Also, normal stuff. Trance, which is actually a new feature that was done in 5e. I'm still not entirely sold on trance, but that's just me. Yes, quirky alignment is normal alignment. Oh wow, cloud elves. Grove heritage. Humans. Nomadic or cosmopolitan. See, here's where I get into an issue. And why heritage and background sort of deviate for me. Nomadic feels like it should be a cultural thing. Same with cosmopolitan. And that whether you're human or elven, you should definitely be able to take either of those. Yeah. But maybe for certain settings this makes sense. Oh wow, we're almost done with this. We'll probably definitely very quickly get into my new setting, and we'll talk a little bit more about some other stuff. Scholar background, adventuring motivations. Oh, here's what I want. Adventuring supplies me with the coin I need to fund my research. Yes, this is the stuff I will definitely pull in to Blood and Iron. Soldier, adventuring motivations again. Though only 2. we just get scholar and soldier. Yeah, we're gonna need to figure some more of those. But I do think adventuring motivations is gonna be a table I start adding to at least some aspects. Maybe those are class-based. I'm not sure yet. I feel they might be. Soldiers are definitely going to be an archetype in Blood and Iron. And them having certain motivations that are different than a scholar or a occultist totally makes sense. Magic talents, elemental savant. Oh, the talent system. Yes, they're not called feats, or I call them traits in Celestia. But talents here. All those seem pretty normal. Polyglot. That's a nice one. Oh, and trade skills. Is there actually a list of skill proficiencies? No. Trade skills definitely sounds like a useful trait, though. Okay. So I think that is pretty much all of this. This was really short. It's only 11 pages. And I don't really think we even need to talk about school specialization or mental fortitude until we get, like, more. We don't have skills yet. We don't know what spells look like. So it's kind of early to talk about the couple of talents here. So yeah, I think that covers most of this for now. Yeah, I can see like a list of general motivations. Anyway, for now, let's switch. I'm gonna run a be right back screen just so this is easier to find for me when I cut this footage for later. So, give me like a minute.